I'm trying to quit smoking, and I've noticed that everywhere I go every day now, I see people lighting them up. There's people are smoking cigarettes everywhere I go. I never noticed so many people smoking cigarettes before. When I was smoking, it seemed like nobody was smoking. Like it was a dying thing. Nobody, like everyone who smoked was dead and it was going away. Now that I'm trying to stop, I'm constantly seeing people smoking cigarettes. It's like you ever notice that when you really think about something a lot, or you're really focused on something, you start seeing that thing everywhere you go. You ever notice that? I think it's called like the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. You ever hear that? That's like, it's like you learn a new word or concept, and then suddenly it just seems to appear everywhere. Everywhere you go, it's like you become aware of something, and your brain just starts noticing it more and more often in your environment all the time. It's like a freaky illusion or something. I mean, I wish I knew what was going on there. What's happening? Have you ever noticed that? Have I ever noticed that? Of course, man. It's probably my favorite thing to talk about. Of course, if you really want to know what's going on, there, like you said, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I mean, it's the physical, literal evidence right in front of our faces that we are creating our reality every moment to moment to moment to moment. Literally, like it's not a metaphor. Like we're literally physically creating our reality right before our eyes every moment. It's just we're so powerful. We don't even know we're doing it. It's so beautiful. It's so freeing if you really understand this, and you can try to start like consciously understanding that you're doing this all the time. It's mind blowing, and it's just it's beautiful, man. And that's a lot of the stuff I would like to talk about on the show, and I mean it's gorgeous, man. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you talking about? Creating your reality. I was trying to have a little conversation with you about something freaky. You're fucking nuts. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my good gosh damn, I gotta go. Oh my good gosh damn, oh I don't know. Oh my good gosh damn, I gotta go. Oh my good gosh damn, I don't know. When I was very young, my mother told me about a friend of hers who had huffed paint when she was a child or teen, and she had a habit of doing it. Did it for a while, and after a while, this girl began to look mentally disabled, or as my mother said, she began to look retarded. And she said that huffing chemicals will make you physically look retarded. Um, not to be rude or offensive, I apologize for using that word, but that's fast forward. A friend of mine and myself had watched the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas together, and Hunter Thompson and Gonzo, his lawyer, they go and, if you remember the movie in the scene, they open the trunk and they see these two pints of ether, and they huff that shit. It looks like a blast, right? Well, when I was about 15, shortly after seeing that film, I'm sitting in art class and I'm coloring, and they tell us with the, they give us this chemical, this like thinner, this paint thinner shit, to put on a paper towel, and then you're supposed to wipe it on the image, and it smudges and smears and creates this really cool effect, So I'm working with this, and not on purpose or anything, I'm just like really close to it or something, but I'm breathing it in. Next thing I know, my balls get real warm. It starts tingling my whole groin area, right? Very, very pleasurable feeling. Not orgasmic or sexual, really, but just very nice, comfortable. I looked up, and I remember looking at the clock and getting what I would call the wah-wahs later. I started just getting my vision going like fuzzy. Wah, 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 wah. And it's the brain dying of oxygen. And essentially,
when that happens, your spirit just like jumps out. It's like, oh, this car is going down. The brain's dead. This body's done. See you later. I'm out of here. Just hits the eject button, and just parachutes out of there. And when you're parachuting out of your physical body, in a sense, the first feeling is like, where's this been all my life? I want to feel this over and over. Yeah, this is very nice. But it puts you into a realm of where everything is deja vu too. You begin to look at everything, every situation or circumstance you approach, you come to it with this. You're in this like level where you know exactly what's going to happen because it has already happened. And really, you're connecting with this understanding that everything is here and now all at once. Maybe my whole journey doing ether there was to teach me this to some degree, open my mind to the idea. Because that didn't end well, we were sniffing that shit for like a couple of weeks, walk around in this deja vu-esque haze, because when you smoke pot with it, it like extends it too. Anyhow, I'm not promoting doing this shit because it's horrible. And then the one day I took it, the last day, I stole the stuff from art class, and I was gonna meet my buddy in the bathroom and skip the auditorium, skip school, get out of there, And we we met in the bathroom, and instead of leaving right away, we decided to start sniffing it. And so that went on for a couple minutes, and my friend is looking in the mirror, his ears sticking out, his eyes like almost crossed. And he's like, bro, and I had told him what my mother had told me. And he goes, bro, I think this is starting to make me look retarded. And it was one of the funniest moments in my life. I'm sorry. You can't, that type of hilarity is uncontrollable. There's nothing I could do about it. If I wanted to be a nicer person and not laugh at this, it just would have stressed me out. It was too funny. This guy in the mirror, bro, I think this is starting to make me look retarded, man. Yeah, you do. He absolutely looked. I think his lips were turning blue, his ears all big, hair sticking up. It was like, yeah, man, this is not doing you any favors. That's for sure. And then we got caught by the art teacher there or whatever. My buddy and I the cops were there. We got kicked out of school for like a month, whatever. That was the end of that. I never, sniffed any chemicals after that, random nitrous balloon or, a can of whipped cream or something, Did sniff gas once on acid. That was... But anyhow, this isn't just a retelling of all that shit. The point of this was to remind you that you're listening to the Bill Mullane Show, episode 15. And you never know how it's going to start, and you never know what you're going to really get. And that's a good story for you. And the show is brought to you by Fat Goat. Not really. They don't really pay me, but I'm advertising for them. So if you're listening and you want any fucking plugins and all sorts of shit like that, go check them out. Show is also brought to you by Dewey's. That's right. A place to go to drink and drive legally and not hurt anybody, and and party out. The whole night long. Let's all get it kick-started together and fucking form that and get that going. Let's get that fucking place off the ground, people. Come on. What are you doing? You're sitting around on your ass, listening to the fucking Bill Mullane Show. Listen to me tell you about fucking stories of when I was 15 years old. Episode 15. And that story was really, the only point to it is to welcome to Déjà Vu, the understanding of what that really is. And there's a focus on that in the meditation, not deja vu, but more of the being present here and now, which is the only moment there is, which is the cause for that experience of deja vu. And I have a song that came to me when I was in that state of mind. Back then when I was 15. So this song is almost 25 years old. Okay? I've never recorded this before. I put it down, and my brother told me earlier this week, and he's 100% right. No, I'm not a great singer. He goes, maybe don't sing on the show, man. Maybe people will like you more if you stop torturing them that way. And I understand, but no, I'm just going to keep singing anyway. I like to sing. It's fun. So, sing along with the song maybe in your own voice, because maybe the vocals don't sound incredible. But this song has been in my fucking head for 25 years. And I've never recorded it. It's only 4 lines long. But it's the soundtrack of an ether binge. this is what it sounds like to be high on inhalants, and it's the sound of Déjà Vu. Welcome to Aligning the Beyond with your host, Bill Mullane.
All right, welcome in, everyone. Gather around the metaphorical campfire. Happy Friday night, and what better day of the week or time to delve into the paranormal? I'm not going to worry about explaining what this segment of the show is. If you don't know, then that's awesome because you're a first-time listener, and I need more of those. But I implore you to go and listen to the last 2 episodes of the Bill Mullane Show, which kind of explains what this is. And for my 5 or 9 devoted followers, I will just jump right into it here. So the first segment, first story in Aligning the Beyond, this one jumped out to me immediately when I saw it because it's titled Spirit in Garage. And for those who know me or have been listening to the show or read the blog or anything, might realize I've spoken before on the fact that my mother is kind of a magnet for supernatural activity, or for spirits. And I grew up in haunted houses, and it's all what really inspired me to why I'm so interested in doing this segment and everything else. So one night when I was living with her years ago, I had a dream, I guess it was, and I walked into her garage, and there was this just wretchedly looking old woman there. And my initial thought was probably related to my Catholic and Christian upbringing stuff, but it was just, I just said to her, go with God. And I just remember her getting a pleasant look on her face and turning, and she disappeared. And
before I saw her, I was walking up like this invisible staircase in the garage. It was really an intense thing. And I always hesitate to call it a dream because it wasn't like your normal dream. It was more like, and I really don't remember if I was awake when this happened or not. It was so long ago, but it feels like a real experience still so vividly. I can still see her and everything. But so when I saw this, initially it jumped out at me. It's called Spirit in Garage. The house I'm currently living in was my grandparents' house. It's only been owned by my immediate family, and my mom and her sisters are the current owners. Now, our house was built in the mid-70s, along with all the houses in my neighborhood. In our garage, the ceiling of the attic has fallen in, and there's now a huge hole in the ceiling on the far right side of the garage. My whole life I've felt off about it. I've never liked it at night, and maybe that was just fears as a child. But now, I'm 20 years old, and strange things have been happening in the garage. 3 glass pieces have been broken over the past year, and our clothes rack pole fell down when no one was in there. Now, this pole you have to lift up and move to the left or right to take it down, so it wasn't just the wind or door closing. I'm a 90% believer, but I think there's something in my garage, and I think it's been coming through the hole in the ceiling. I want to try and get in contact with it safely and see if it's just trapped or if it's dangerous. I know the rest of my house is haunted, but it's just my family, so I'm not concerned. This thing has been causing destruction, and I am not having it. Does anyone have any safe tips to try and get in contact with this thing? Without any EVP equipment, and definitely no Ouija board. So this is a person who is experiencing what they believe is a haunting. First, let me say it's a garage. So you gotta be a little leery right away and say there could be animals living. You got a hole in the ceiling? Of course, there's all these things. It could be. So after investigating that and making sure that it's not something getting in, something that lives in the ceiling through the hole, an animal knocking stuff around. Once that's been eliminated, if you can narrow down and get to the point where it's definitely something that you perceive to be from the other side, the first thing to understand is any ghost or spirit is temporarily just in kind of a shock mode from having transitioned without knowing where their spirit is going. I've mentioned this before on the show. So if you understand that, you have to realize now that they're not doing anything malicious. I mean, you say at the end, it's causing destruction and you're not having it. It might very well be trying to get your attention, and that's the only way it's doing it without actually hurting you. So the first thing is to validate it. You have to validate this experience and validate the idea that there's something in there that needs your attention. You need to understand that it's only coming from yourself. These things happen in agreement that we make in spirit. What you're actually doing is calling attention to yourself. You're using them as a sort of tool to get you to look into and investigate something about yourself. So maybe it's trying to get you into contact with, you said the fears as a child. Childish fears are not, it's not just, a childish fear. This might be you might be trying to call yourself to attention. In spirit, you've made an agreement and you're waking yourself up by going to investigate what this thing is in the garage. It's causing damage. So very easily, if it reminds you of childhood and the fears, it's coming from the garage and all of that, dive into where those fears came from as a child. Most people have a fear of the unknown. And it's the unknown in of itself. The only thing that's out there is more of yourself. But it's blocked by this completely nonsensical fear. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way, but that's what it is. It's just the unknown. It's more of you. And so this nonsensical fear, it's just an obstacle. You got to plow through it. And on the other side is endless joy and expansion. that's only on the other side of fear. So that comes down to me personally why I do this whole show. I'm innately introverted and don't like, putting myself out anywhere, but in order to do something I love, I kind of have to, and I'm plowing through the fear to get to the other side. And I'll tell you from my experience so far, every time I push past fear, there's nothing on the other side but more joy, more passion, more expression, more of myself. And you are very likely waking yourself up to the idea that, oh yeah, the unknown is nothing to be really scared of. Once you validate that and understand that this is the purpose it's serving, I bet you the damages and the things inside the garage stop. Unless you got a family of raccoons living in there knocking things around. In that case, call an exterminator or do what you think is right in that situation. The next story. A 15-year-old boy, paranormal and supernatural enthusiast with a story and idea to tell. And he says, I am a 15-year-old boy from India, and I have a strong interest in the paranormal, supernatural, and haunted experiences. My journey into this fascinating world began when I helped a close friend who encountered something truly terrifying. A half-cutted, very black figure who moved faster than a metro. We both believed this figure was a ghost. My friend witnessed it in a dream after that, and I too witnessed it. We named it Mysterious Blackman. I'm not sure that's the best name, but after witnessing this strange event, I took it upon myself to support my friend. I wrote a book detailing the encounter, which remains unpublished, and even made a drawing of the entity. Interestingly, after doing this, the haunting stopped. And that was what I read to that point right there. That after doing this, drawing the entity, writing about the entity, that it stopped. And this really ties right into the last story, which is all about validation. You see, a lot of these things, this paranormal and supernatural, haunt people, or they call it haunting. A lot of this, again, is you waking yourself up to understanding that there's so much more, there's more out there. And you wake yourself up in a variety of ways, and if you have no conscious thought right now of paranormal or of the other side, or of what we call the other side or the afterlife, you will often try to jolt yourself into believing, into seeing, into understanding. And so these things can come out a little intense and terrifying. And it's playing off of your own fear of the unknown, your own whatever it is exactly. There can be many different beliefs and fears inside of the individual. Everyone is unique. But in general, wake yourself up to these ideas through fear, things that really give you a good shock. And once you validate it, well, there it goes. The haunting stopped, as this young man has said here. And his story continues. Since then, I've been drawn to the paranormal and have been looking for ways to explore it further. Unfortunately, where I live, there aren't many well-known haunted places to investigate, but I'm still eager to connect with others who share my interests. Well, hello, young man, I share your interest, and I have, as you say here, you don't have places to investigate that are haunted where you live. That's not true. That's a belief you'll have to let go of. Now, I understand maybe where you live, there's no attractions. Hey, come visit this place. It's been haunted since 1862. There's a lady who lives in the cellar, or the old abandoned mental institution where you're gonna see things like here in Buffalo. We had one of those out. Everybody, if you grew up in West New York, you crawled around inside of the old haunted mental institution downtown. But what it is you're drawing yourself to these things. And so a haunting, though, can take place anywhere, at any time, any place, because it is all here right now. And so the point of that is that it's not so much a place near you that's haunted, it's people. And it's people opening themselves and allowing that thing in. You have an interest in these things, then you understand they're real, so you might have a tougher time seeing it. Because you understand it's real, you might see things, you wrote about the entity you saw, and you it's gone, and now you want to see more, and you know that's real. I personally don't walk around seeing ghosts, seeing spirits anymore. As a kid, I saw a lot of it, but that's because I had to understand that it's real. Now that I validate it and understand it, I don't see it so much because it's served its purpose. So unfortunately, because you want to be kind of excited and shocked, if you believe these things that much, if you understand that it's real, you're not going to see it as much because there's no purpose to push you in that direction. Now, if you're trying to sharpen your skills into seeing these things, this would begin all with your own personal looking inward. You raise yourself to a level where these things become visible to you. That's the only way to really go about investigating and seeing more supernatural or paranormal activity. It's a matter of allowing it in and not judging it, understanding what it is and that it's coming from you, that it's all about you and your ability to perceive. So you don't need a place to go to see things. You just open yourself up and you will automatically see the different things all around you all the time, in every place, everywhere, and it's all one place right here, right now. And that's where we stop to take a couple breaths. Thank you for listening to Aligning the Beyond, and take a moment to sit back, relax, take a deep breath in, and let it out. Another deep breath in. And let it out. Breathe in and feel yourself slip back into remembrance, relaxing all of your body back into who and what you are. Take a deep breath in. And for this portion, the 7th portion of the 12-part meditation, simply remember that you are always standing in the neutral zone of creation. Everything, negative and positive, time, past and future, stand on either side of you. You rest in the neutral zone between all that is on both sides of the coin. Picture yourself, envision yourself, see yourself always in the neutral center. This portion of understanding within these meditations is time where you can spend focused on the beginning steps to understanding that you are creating your reality with every thought and belief that you have. But in order to understand that you are creating everything with your belief system, creating your physical existence, your physical reality through your beliefs, the first step to understanding that is recognizing where you stand, in the center, at the neutral point, where everything is neutral. Nothing has built-in meaning. Nothing, no thing has built-in meaning. Everything is neutral. Take a deep breath in. And allow that understanding to sit with you. Absorb your surroundings and know that everything around you and everything in your life has meaning because you give it meaning. You are the creator of your experience. Relax and know the truth of what you are and the neutral point from which you create everything you experience. Relax and know everything is neutral. Say out loud, physicalize it. Everything is neutral. I give meaning. I create meaning. Take a deep breath in. And let it out. Take a deep breath in. And remain at peace with the understanding that everything is neutral. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in. Hold it. Remember, everything is neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe it all in. And let it go.
All right, let's go, baby. All right, I believe I'm already over 30 minutes, so we're just wrapping this up. And look, my diehard loyal fans are gonna be fucking stoked when I give you this news right here. The Bill Mullane Show is taking a hiatus. That's right. Get excited, people. Seriously, my daughter's 10th birthday is on Sunday. And believe it or not, as fucked up as a lot of this shit is, the show does take a little bit of work and effort and time to put together. And plus, I am building out the website and gearing up to get the DFL podcast ready to go, which needs to be done after preseason, which is almost over. Well, 2 more weeks, then you get a week off. But you get the picture. We got to ramp up for that. The Brothers McCarb coming. That needs a. I'm
working on a couple of stories for that I want to spend some time on the writing aspect of. And then there's the fact that the real, actual, good, exciting news, I'm getting a real fucking microphone that I can plug into this goddamn thing and stop sounding like shit. So this is the last episode of the Bill Mullane Show that you're going to hear, at least my voice in this horrible manner, which should improve a lot of the music. It'll improve a lot of the meditations, the paranormal stuff. And also the format when this show comes back might be a little bit different. I'm thinking of keeping a couple of the solid things I've done here and moving them alongside with, you have the DFL podcast, the Brothers McCarb podcast, and then the guided meditations I'm already doing is going to put separate as a whole nother thing. So this show might just end up being just the comedy and the music for you by the time it comes back. Maybe relieve you from having to bounce around your interests through the matter of 35 minutes. So that is all shit that I'm looking forward to. Hey, Bill, man, what the fuck am I going to do for a week off, man? I got nothing to fucking do. Go suck an egg, Jose. I don't know what to tell you. But the show will be a short little break, and you can still look forward to the blogs on Tuesday. I'm probably going to drop a little song or a little something extra next week at some point, but it won't be episode 16. That won't come out for 2 weeks. So anyone want to comment? Say you can wish my daughter a happy birthday. You can tell me to go fuck myself. Whatever you want to do. But listen, subscribe on all the platforms there. All the bullshit, all the rigmarole and all the nonsense I got to go through. And for the first time in, 4 months here, I'm not going to say, see you next week. I'll have to say, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh. Gosh damn, I gotta go. Oh, my good gosh damn. Oh, I don't know. Oh, my good gosh damn, I gotta go. Oh, my good gosh damn, I don't know. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh.
DFL, bitch.